Picked Nylon from Session Guitarist, Native Instrument Session Guitarist. And as you can tell by the name, it's a nylon string guitar. And it was made, this is a handcrafted nylon guitar by master guitar maker Lisa Wenzel. I could be pronouncing that wrong. And they use some rare preamps and some sought-after microphones, you know, the usual. And obviously an excellent player. And it gives you a big range of options. It says warm, modern, warm, organic, and clean, modern are the range, and it's suitable for pop or electronica, bossa nova, a variety of things. Picked Nylon. Okay. So that was just one pattern. We got this one. Calm C, I like that. Okay, so we want to, let's see if all these patterns are the same. So we have this key, this one. So I think I was wanting it to go to the A minor at that point, but that one. And now that I think of it, I think I've used that progression somewhere else. So if you are new to the Session Guitarist layout, what I just opened up is the chords section. And so chords is the section that allows you play chords with one finger, so to speak. You can also play, we can turn it off and you can play one finger chords like this. But the really cool thing is if you choose, you can choose what chords you're playing by actually playing chords if you know them with your hands and multiple fingers. Okay, that was a fun explanation there. So on this section here we have the patterns, which we're in the fourth one, is D#1 down here. So this, if I had a complete control keyboard, these would be above the keys would be labeled with the colors that you see right here. I don't, so I have to look at the screen, but I'm familiar enough that I know where they are. So C1 is obviously, and then we have C#1, then D1, okay, so that's our pattern section right here. If we go to the next tab, we have our guitar settings, and here you see the three setups that they have. This is kind of like the Picked Acoustic. They had this has close, main, and stage. That one just had ribbon and dynamic and one other type of microphone, condenser. So we're close. Let's see how we sound in the main. Some more space. You'll also notice that there's more reverb between this one and this one. At least where the guitar places in the reverb. That's your settings. We'll look more at these in a minute. We got effects, which is where your pedal board is, and we only have a reverb and an EQ for this one. And then your playback settings, which account for how much swing you put in, whether the performance is quantized or original. This is humanized section. You got your tempo. We could double time it. We could half time it. All right, painfully slow, and then regular. You can also adjust the timing, sync to beat, latch mode. Which latch mode is how quickly it stops after I let up on the key. In this case, it's quarter note. We can make it eighth note. Okay, which is half the time. We'll put it back to quarter. Okay. On the main section here, right under above the patterns tab, we have our presets, which we could go through either here, or you can click on the presets here, and you'll be able to go through them. Let's come in a little bit. So yeah, presets here, you can search, and this brings up a list, and you can choose by categories. You can 4/4 time, 3/4. Let's try 3/4. Not everyone does that. Lovely. Okay, and you can either double click or click the check mark right here at the top. I've already selected it, so I'm just gonna hit the X. These are clearly all sevenths. That's another thing. You have this chord section which tells you what chords you're playing. So let's see if this one will let me. Okay, so by default it's a C minor 7. If I choose this, it's a C major 7. Sounds like a dominant 7. Okay, so this one actually adds some effects, which I don't think I saw in the first one. You have this sound. You got this one. It's like the guitar being thumped. And then you got, and depending on what your settings are with the rest of it, you'll get different effects in this area right above the patterns. Now these patterns are blank from there, so it only goes up to D sharp 1. There we go. Okay. Okay, let's see what other, so we're in 3/4 time. Let's see what other sounds we got here. Now it's not showing me a chord, which is interesting. I like that pattern. Let's try. Okay, so that's that. Now if we turn on these chords, will it? It might. Okay. Old Tango. Interesting. I thought I selected. Okay, so that's the sound preset is Old Tango, and the pattern type is this one, which I don't want to pronounce it the wrong way, so I'll let you read it. So like dark matter. That sounds interesting. off the auto chord. Some C minor. I think I like the first one the best. Okay, so that's how we can select sounds. I'm going to go back. I'm going to put it back to 4/4. But you have to select a sound, don't you? Yes, indeed. Okay, so let's look at the guitar settings. We could also engage this thing in addition to the microphone positions here. We can engage doubling. I'm actually going to go over here and turn off the reverb. For you to be able to hear. So this gives you the sound of like a double-tracked guitar, whether it's simulated or they actually took 2 recordings and panned it. It sounds pretty good. And it's cool that you can change the mic positions without the reverb, and it'll sound. Okay, it'll sound different. So I'm going to put it on main, turn off the doubling. So they mentioned some preamps that they used. What did it say about them? So this is the sound of the preamps. Rare preamps. Like outside, and this is like the direct in sound. So I can see why you'd have it somewhere in the middle. And then you got amount of resonance. Yeah, frets. Musician. Oh, we got the sounds of the musician. This is different. That's interesting because I'm used to it. So in some of the pianos like Noir and Una Corda, I think those specifically, they have this section called the pianist. And you can hear the pianist shifting around and you know, but you don't hear him breathing like you do with a guitar. I guess you don't really hear pianists breathing that often, although they do. But for guitarists, that makes sense. Okay, and that's turned up to max. Now, what I notice is it doesn't play when you're not playing, which the pianist thing on Native Instruments pianos does move around even when you're not playing, which is interesting. So, yeah. So we got that one, and then we got how precise the tuning can be. So I put it to sloppy. You could have it to be precise. So it's a very slight difference, but you can kind of hear the strings just a little bit detuned. So somewhere in the middle seems to be about right. And in this way, the guitar samples sound less like samples and more like an authentic experience of someone playing, which is cool. Because we connect more with a more, what do you say, more organic, personal type sound than something that's really perfect sounding, oddly enough. So, okay, let's turn the reverb back on. It's on Symphony Hall right now. Pre-delay is how much of the tone you hear before the reverb kicks in. Let me put it to this one. You tell when I turn it up to 300 milliseconds. So sometimes, and I found this more useful with vocals, but you can turn it to, let's say, and so that's almost more. That's like if you're close to it, you wouldn't hear the reverb immediately necessarily. So that can be a fun thing. Here you have the mix over here. So they're wet and dry. Oftentimes it's called wet dry. See, no reverb all the way up to a wash. Okay. And let's see, let's go over to our preset. It's on classical. So what can we do? So different EQ curves. I see why it was on 25% or 50. Just trimming away some of the low frequencies a bit. And you could change the type to focused, bright, warm. So these will give different colors based on what you want. They're called sun. It's the feeling of it, whether it's that's why they have like bright and dark classical. This would be typical of a classical guitar, which most of them are nylon string. I don't think I've heard of a steel string classical guitar, but I have a feeling there might be one. Generally, they're nylon though. And if you click here, you could add another effect. This one, it doesn't have amps because it's not an electrical guitar. It's not an electric guitar, but it is a... Oh, here's choral, faces, and flare. So the faces is, I believe that's a flanger, flare. I'm rusty on what they are. I do know choral is the chorus. And you can change the amount of chorus. It was fun with the feedback. Okay, so you could absolutely mangle the sound if you wanted to. And that's the beauty of the effects pedal board here. And then we could actually take that away, and then we'll be back to where it was. You have up to 7 pedals you can put in here. All right, now we'll go to the playback area. You can adjust the swing, the amount of sing. So let's go up to, swing isn't as exciting on this pattern. So if I went to maybe our 16th toolbox. Let's go back to this one. So you can hear the swing a little bit. It's precise. Not so precise. Now we have humanize. We could put it in quantize and swing. How's that going to work? Like that. Original. Somewhere in there. Now, typically you'll put the amount of swing somewhere at about half or so. So, I know that was kind of probably annoying, but you get the point. So we already talked about latch mode, sync to host, and this is. Start on key, sync to host. Sync to host would be whatever my BPM is down here, which is 120 is my current BPM. So it's synchronizing to 120 BPM. And then our timing, we could sounds more robotic here. Sounds a little sloppy here. So those are all the sections. And of course we have our pitch bend, our vibrato with the mod wheel. You're not gonna hear vibrato that well with that sound. Let's go to this one. It's vibrato, and then we have instead of a pitch bend, we got impact. So as we discovered with the picked acoustic, it's the intensity of the playing. Now I noticed they like their reverbs in this one. So we're gonna go to another preset. This is another area you can go to presets if you have Contact 8. You can click over here and it's a bossa nova. They would likely not play that the sequence of notes, but you get the point. So we got bossa A, B, C, and playing eighth. Okay, so there is another section as we get close to the end here, is the melody instrument, which will allow you, as you may have guessed, to play melodies. And we have this helpful tutorial here, and it tells us that if we want to combine melodies and patterns to create authentic performances, this is how we do it. So we click Next, and it tells us that this side here is your melodies, your melody section. And you can choose the desired playing style, open, muted, flageolet, tremolo, and that's in the melody section. And then the pattern section, you can choose the pattern, but in this case, you have to hold down whichever keys. In this case, we got E1 through G1, so we'd have to hold them down like that. Whereas the pattern ones, you just select and you're good to go. So you can change the default mode to be pattern in the playback section, which we looked at earlier down here. All right, let's start. Okay, so they have the Guitarist turned on here. Very cool. Now, if we wanted to play a pattern, here we go. Okay, let's see, F1. And that's very cool. They add a slide on there if you press harder. It's a velocity triggered slide. Okay, I'm going to change the cutoff. I think it's on quarter note. Yeah, I'm going to put it to eighth note. And then I'm going to record this because I need this in my life. So let's make sure I'm not recording over anything else, although I would find out pretty quickly if I was. So go forward there. Okay, yeah, that's at the end. All right, let's go for it. Put this back in place. Holding down the F key. So that's just fun. We could have, let's see, that was what I was holding down, F. Let's see what G1 is. I think that's a good place to stop with this. You can see how many different, well, you can't see how many because there's so many different options you could do. So we're back to, okay, this is back to the regular instrument. Oh, so pretty. So we can go back to G flat. Yeah, I like it in C better. Okay. So there are many, many more sounds you can go through and explore, but that's just, and there's often, in this case, we got a pattern version and a melody version. So garden state, and it's this way with a lot of them. I like eighth note cutoff, so I'm gonna. Now what I should have done here, because I just realized I changed my my sound. Okay, let's see. Garden state. Because what it's gonna do now is it's gonna play it like. It's not gonna play. Okay, so we got to fix this. What were we on? Com C melody. Okay. There we go. With our slides and everything. So you can see there are many, many different things you can do with this instrument. And I think they did a good job with Picked Nylon. Thank you for joining me. YouTube is recommending some videos for you. Be sure to check those out, and see you in the next one. Stay curious.